Morning. Nice little 2.5 mil in the gauge from yesterday. Not breaking records once again, but any moisture at this time of the year is very valuable. So I think it is the 31st of August today, and this is the time of year that I normally like to go around and do a bit of a crop tour and a season update. So we're going to go do that this morning. So why do I like doing my crop update now around the start of September? Because June and July it's normally wet and cold and nothing grows. In August things actually start growing at Jamestown, and in September we normally run out of moisture. So by this time of the year we've got some sort of an idea how the season's going. Normally our winter months, June, July and August, we're pretty safe for moisture. We usually get our share of rain, except this year we didn't really, but things normally look good. It's normally too cold, even if you have a dry spell, for it to really affect you. But what we'll do, we'll run around, we'll have a look. We'll just go by seeding day. We'll start at the canola, go to the beans, and on from there, and have a quick look at how things are going. Well, this gate down here is open, so we'll just go in here and look at the canola, I think. Alrighty-o, we're standing out in the canola, which is obviously out in full flower at the moment. This stuff was seeded, I reckon, around the 7th of May, so there's only the one paddock this year, which you guys know if you've been following along for a while, so this is my mad trial. But look, it doesn't look too bad. It went in nice and early, got a good germination. There is oodles of ryegrass coming up underneath. Here, it's a bit hungry, needed some more nitrogen, but the time that it needed it, well, we couldn't get out and do it because it wasn't raining. So it sort of is what it is. It's probably going to suffer because I didn't quite get enough food, but it is what it is. It's definitely not going to break any records with height, but it's got its spots where it looks pretty decent. What's it going to do from here? I don't really know. Are we going to get another rain? If we don't get another rain, I really have no idea. Like I said, this is the first time growing canola, so the good thing is it went in early, so there should be something here. There should be something here, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens from here if we don't get any more rain or any significant rain. But it would also be equally as interesting to see if we did get another 15 or 20 mil of rain on it. I think it could still be quite a handy crop. So anyway, I really wanted to put this in here to get control of some ryegrass, and I have not achieved that because there is a whole flush of ryegrass coming underneath this. But anyway, hopefully we can windrow it and spray under it and try and get a bit of control of that ryegrass. But all in all, first time growing it, relatively happy with my efforts. There should be something there to harvest come harvest time, which is what it's all about. Right, we'll go up and have a look at some fava beans. The beans, the beans, the beans. The beans are looking pretty damn magical, I think, at the moment, or for this time of the year. I think they look really, really nice. They are pretty well canopying over. They look great. They're out in full flower at the moment, so yeah, we just got to hope for some mild conditions and another rain on these, and they should be all right. But they are actually relatively tall already. I'm really surprised. These things normally really struggle through the winter here, but it has been a relatively mild winter, and you can see they've got some height about them already, which is really nice to see. So look, I really think these things are going to need, like I said, another rain on them and some mildish conditions to finish off. Otherwise I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot here. But is there moisture underneath? You betcha there's some under there. I think we've sort of got, we should get through till mid-September fairly comfortably on the moisture that we've got there, and then we'll probably really be starting to look for another rain. But these things sort of came up, and you might be able to see it a little bit. They're a bit wavy because, when they got seeded, like I said earlier in the year, the moisture was so marginal. Some grew, some didn't. It is what it is. Overall, they look really good, and I think that they're sort of well ahead of the curve for this time of the year. So yeah, we'll go have a look at the barley that I threw in on some very, very marginal moisture, and that is looking really, really nice. But we'll go have a look at that now. Okay, so this is one of the first paddocks of barley that we seeded, and we seeded it on very, very marginal moisture in the middle of May. There was just enough moisture there that probably like 60% of it germinated, and just as the first bits of it were starting to come out the ground, we got 7 mil of rain, all the rest of the barley went in and all the rest of it germinated. But absolutely worth the risk in my opinion, because this stuff looks great, like really, really nice. I'm really, really happy with it. And if you came out here a month ago, this stuff was starting to turn a real lime green, starting to look off color. We spread more fertilizer on it. We only had 1.5 mil of rain after we did that. We were getting smacked with frost and it was starting to turn yellow. It really didn't look nice. It dried right up, but we got 38 millimeters of rain the other week and bam, it has just come back to life. But she's starting to poke her head out now, any of the early stuff, which you can see there. So starting to get a whisker out. You know, if this doesn't really receive too much more rainfall, I'd say this would still, I think we could still get 2.5, 3 tonne off of it. It might be, the grain quality might be a bit pinched off and a bit average, but yeah, I sort of hold the most hope for these crops actually yielding something at the moment. So, and why do I keep saying if it rains again? Because honestly, it would not be the first time that we just haven't had any rain in September. So it happens in our area, and the way they're talking this year, they keep saying it's going to stop raining. So quite a bit of volunteer wheat in here. The wheat's actually almost ahead of the barley, but that's just because there was wheat in here last year, and this will just be feed barley anyway. So it is what it is, but overall, very happy with it. It is kind of pretty dang early to have barley coming out in head in our area. And the reason I say that is because frost. Frost is a big killer up here at Jamestown. Plenty of crops have been lost to frost over the years, and you know, the earlier that it's out in head, the more likely it is to get frosted, but if we get a big frost. But on the flip side of that, if it's dry and warm, this crop's going to be, you know, well ahead of the curve. Oh, we'll duck down and have a look at some wheat. Well, this is probably about the best looking wheat at the moment. The best of our wheat is any wheat that went in on vetch stubbles. So anything that went in on bean or pea stubble has just struggled a little bit, because those crops were so good last year. Instead of returning nitrogen, they would have used a lot of that back to set seed. So this stuff on the vetch, it looks very, very nice. You know, pretty happy with where it's at for this time of the year. It's got a long way to go, and I tell you, if it doesn't rain, this is going to be ugly. There's no other way of cutting it, you know. No, you can't sugarcoat it. This won't finish off well at all. We're going to need another decent, like really decent rain to get this through and make some sort of a crop out of it. But I mean, it looks nice for now, and it's certainly moving along. And like I said, we've probably got, you know, till the middle of September before we'll start really looking for a rain again. But I think after that we'll be in reverse gear, going backwards. But she's definitely getting along in the growth stage now, so I don't know whether that dry spell really hurt the wheat much. I don't know if we dropped any tillers or anything like that dry spell that we had through June and into early August. But anyway, maybe we don't want them being too thick and too luscious this year, because if it's going to be dry, then they're just going to struggle anyway. And we've probably got a bit of septoria, a bit of lower leaf disease coming on down there. The agronomist would, well, he wants me to come out and spray a fungicide on it, but it's, I don't know, that's not too bad. If I was coming over it with the sprayer, I'd put one in, but the way it is now, I'm not going to bother. But there's plenty of moisture under there. We got moisture to work with, so that's good. And I keep saying if it's going to be a dry one this year, it's already been a dry one. I actually just calculated the rain this morning. I think we've had 217 millimeters for the year. I think I looked back through the rainfall records, was it earlier this year? I think our driest year ever on record that we've recorded was 1982. And we had 220 millimeters, I think, for the year. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back through and look, but we're almost at our driest. We're about to surpass our driest year on record, which that'd be nice to get over that hump. But good thing about this year is we've still got plenty of months to go. We've still got 4 full months to go, so we'll see. I think we'll definitely get past it. So key takeaway points: the early crops are looking pretty decent. There should be something there for us in November. We're probably a good week or two ahead. I think a lot of the crops than sort of where they normally are in their growing schedule, which is a good thing possibly, but also possibly a bad thing if we get a frost. And we've got a couple of weeks of moisture up our sleeve, which is more than a lot of people can say, so we've got to be very thankful for that. There's still plenty of hope, there's still plenty of potential. We just keep looking at the skies and hoping things work out for us. So, you know, it's not been a particularly wet year. Things will struggle if we do not get another rain. So there's our update on the season. So that'll be all for this little episode, guys. Just a quick update. Hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you get a bit of an idea of where things are, and you know, the forever optimistic life of a South Australian farmer. The driest state and the driest continent on earth. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.